Hey everybody, it's Roy from ANSgear. We're upstairs with the FLO reg. This is the basic FLO reg right here. We've had some people ask about changing the output pressure on the basic FLO reg. Now the Pro FLO reg or the standard FLO reg, it's very simple. You just switch a screw from the outside and it changes from high pressure to low pressure. But for the basic version, you do have to disassemble the reg, and we're going to do that real quick and show you how to switch that. So right here we've got a screw, and on the other side we've got a screw. Now these screws happen to be right by a little marking that says 7.5 and 1.8. That's in reference to the burst disc below it. That is not in reference to the screw in any way. The screw is just there to hold the bonnet together, and we need to remove both of these screws in order to get the top off of right here. So we're going to take both these out. And it's going to be very important when we put this back together, and I'll show you why once we get the assembly apart right here. And you can kind of see why just by the shape of these screws. These screws have a slotted end to them, or a posted end, and they need to fit into holes that are inside of here. They don't just tighten down against something. They actually fit into grooves all the way around. There's a bunch of grooves all the way around this. So that it stays together properly. And you'll see that when we pull this thing out right here. So I've got the screws out, and now I can just go ahead and unscrew this piece. And before I pull everything out inside there, I can show you. You see these little holes that are all the way around this bottom section right here? That's what these fit into. They actually notch in, and it keeps this from being able to rotate right here. So that's why when we put it together, you have to make sure that these holes on here line up with these holes here, so that everything is coming out in the right spot. All right, so now we need to get out this inside. I'm going to pull my spring and pin down. I'm going to see if I can wiggle this with my fingers. Give it a little smack, see if it'll come out. There it goes. All right, so I pulled it out all together right here. So we have our top and our shim stack right here, and then our bottom plate. So I don't want to change any of the shimming that's on here. So I'm going to just grab a hold of this and pull it out. So I'm grabbing the last shim, or washer I should say, and I'm pulling this whole thing out just like this. I want to keep it like that because I don't want to change the orientation of the Belleville stack. These are not flat washers that are on here. They're conically shaped, and so when they stack against each other, if you flip them or stack them in certain ways, they create a spring. So I don't want to change this in any way. I'm going to leave it just like that. What I want to change or work with is this piece right here. And if I turn this just right, you can see that this silver ring is marked with an HP on it right there. Now this silver ring is removable, and by removing the silver ring out, we change the reg's output pressure from high pressure marked to low pressure. Now on this ring there are two magnets, right? And the magnets are holding this steel piece in place right there. There's a magnet here and a magnet here, but this is a hole. So I'm going to push up through this hole, and you can see that I'm lifting that plate out. You can see it's popping up right there. So I'm going to try to hold the plate up so that I can get my finger underneath it and just kind of push it out. Now when I have this plate out, if I look at this now and hit it just in the right light, for you guys to see. It might be kind of hard to see. It's very faint, but right there, you can kind of see it now. It says LP on there now. And it's easier to see when you have it, there it is, right there. You can kind of see it right there. So by removing this plate and putting this back together, we've reduced the output pressure to low pressure right there. So if you want to go back to high pressure, put that piece back in there. You want to go to a low pressure output, you remove it and then put it back together. So we're going to go from here. We're going to put that back on. we're going to drop our stack down in and put our pin and spring back in. Maybe put it together the right way. Like that. Take our bonnet, get that on there. Screw that together. I'm going to get to the bottom, and then I'm going to look through the holes, and I'm going to just slightly adjust this so that the hole passes all the way through. So the screw hole on the outside and the hole of the bonnet that we looked at earlier, all those holes around there, that they line up with each other, and then I can put my set screw back in. And you'll know right away if it's lined up, because your set screw will either go all the way in and be flush like that, or it won't. You'll start to screw it in, and then you'll feel it stop, and your screw will be sticking out and not flush with the housing right there. If it's not flush, you're just not lined up. So take the screw back out, figure out where your hole needs to be, and then try to reinsert the screw. And that's it. It's very simple, very straightforward to either switch from high pressure to low pressure. Not a problem at all, but we had some people asking, and so I figured we'd give everybody an explanation on how to do it. So there you go. That's switching the FLO basic regulator from the standard high pressure, how it comes, to the low pressure option right there. Pick yours up today at ANSgear.com.